is a beautiful start to the day, and hopefully you have your taxes done and you can enjoy the perfect weather conditions. But if you've put off your taxes, we're 2 days away. Time is up. Everything is due on Monday. And if you've got some last-minute questions, well, we've got the answers. CPA Bob Hockensmith joining us this morning. We're talking about this season. And obviously, we know it's been different than years past because of the changes that were passed in late 2017.
Right.
Have you found there are more procrastinators this year?
Absolutely. We usually see about 30% of the tax returns that are submitted to the IRS put on extension. This year it's gone up 35%. So we've actually seen a big jump in procrastinators.
Are you surprised by that?
Not at all, no. People need time to absorb all these changes.
And talking about the changes, a lot of people saying that their refunds are down this year compared to previous years. Is that what you've seen with working with a bunch of clients?
We have, for a number of reasons. One, a lot of people are actually paying more taxes if they're in a higher income. That's one reason the refunds would be down, because they're paying more taxes. Secondly, the employers were withholding less from their paychecks all year last year, so the refunds are going to be smaller because their paychecks were higher all year long.
So is there something that people can do maybe as far as, making sure that, in the future, maybe you have to pay this year, but you don't have to pay next year?
You can actually go to your employer and fill out a new W-4 or a new A-4 for Arizona and have your adjustments made on those forms. So have more taxes taken out or less taxes taken out. See your tax preparer. He or she can then help you determine how much adjustment needs to be made. Because
you hate, that April rolls around and you're like, oh boy, I owe money and I wasn't expecting to. So if you're watching this morning and you have to file an extension, here's a couple of tips from Bob. So first one, file on time even if you can't pay. What does that mean? So
filing your tax return is not paying your taxes. You can file your tax return and get out of the filing late penalty. There's actually a penalty for filing your taxes late. Then there's a penalty for paying your taxes late. Then there's another penalty for paying too little of your taxes. They really build up. So file your tax returns and wipe out that 5% penalty completely right there.
And then, even if you delay, the paperwork and all that, you still have to pay your taxes by the 15th.
The 15th, right. Now, if you do the extension, the penalty for paying your taxes late goes down from 5% of the tax that's owed to 1/2 of 1%. Huge drop. Just filing that extension, that 4868, is a big, big deal.
So have you found that a lot of people are just taking the standard deduction as opposed to itemizing? Because obviously that changed as well with the tax changes.
A lot. Again, the average taxpayer is taking the standard deduction this year. Obviously, if you have your own business or if you have rental property, that's changed a little bit. But those who have their own business, those who are the typical American are taking the standard deduction this year.
Okay, lastly, if somebody's watching, they have not finished their taxes, they're 2 days away, what's your advice to them?
File an extension. Absolutely file an extension. That'll give you some time. It'll cut your penalties down to the lowest amount absolutely possible. Oh, and here's the final thing. If you have a refund coming, there is no penalty for filing your taxes late. Only if you owe taxes is there a penalty. Okay,
and before we go, you have this book. So if somebody's really into taxes, they're really into money, 52 Pickup, where can they get it?
It's the book that I wrote. I finished it finally. It's on Amazon, it's on Kindle, it's on my website, azmoneyguy.com, and it gives you 52 weeks of tax tips, ideas on how to cut your taxes.
Yeah, you know a lot about taxes, I will tell you that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I got my taxes done in February.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, finished a couple months early. We are going to take a quick break. More Good Morning Arizona right after this.